Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast that doesn't prepare. I'm your host, Muzzy, and joining me today is Brandon.
You need to speak for yourself there, buddy.
Ills.
I really felt the end of the world would be a lot more exciting.
And Noah.
Don't worry, Muzzy, I'm never prepared either.
I always forget that I'm supposed to say that part of the podcast. The only podcast that is this. Here we are. Hello, everyone. Will's not here today, unfortunately. Neither is Safi. So that's...
Or fortunately, you can say whatever.
Oh yeah, or fortunately, maybe you're just for some reason you're a huge fan of the podcast, but not a huge fan of Will. I don't know how you square the two together, but hey, he's not here today. So. Well, we have a lot of rumors to talk about. However, before I touch upon anything like that, there's also a fair bit of news as well, real news. But before I touch upon that, April Fool's was this week.
Yeah.
A lot of April Fooling going around. Personally, not a fan of it this year, considering the state
I was
of the world.
never a fan of it ever, but yeah.
So I just wanted to, talk about some of those April Fools and, why they hurt me. So, if you... I specifically want to bring this up because it is a follow-up to a news story that we've talked about on the podcast fairly often, I think. So if you recall, we talked about the Platinum 4, right? And this was supposed to be 4 brand new announcements from Platinum Games. At the beginning, we thought it was going to be 4 brand new games, all self-published, right? So this was all just going to be this is Platinum's new self-publishing label. And they started off by kickstarting a port of Wonderful 101, which people were like, yeah, cool, I want to play Wonderful 101 again. Give me a chance to play on modern platforms. And the next announcement was Project GG, right, which is Hideki Kamiya's new game, which I think is of note because Hideki Kamiya has not released a game since the Wonderful 101 7 years ago, right? But it is worth noting that game just started development, right? So it's going to be a while before we even see that. And then we were wondering what the other two were. Third announcement was not really a game. It was a studio announcement. Tokyo. They have a new studio in Tokyo. Platinum Games is currently based in Osaka, where Capcom is.
Mm-hmm.
Because, a lot of them came from Capcom, right? And that Tokyo studio would be making games as a service type games, right? Which Platinum hasn't done yet, right? They've only really done single player. And single player games can be games as a service too, but I don't believe any of Platinum's have been, if I'm correct, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, so that would be new for Platinum. Plus, they have a new engine they mentioned, so that's a big deal for them to have a new engine. And then the fourth announcement, so this was a months-long campaign of teasing, hyping, everything, right? The fourth announcement was an April Fool's joke. That was the 4 of the Platinum. I think it's kind of weird to do this. I think it's weird to do a months-long campaign for an April Fool's joke.
Wait, so they all were bullshit?
No.
Not just the latest one?
Are real.
Okay.
But also, the reason this, I guess, rubs me the wrong way, right? The Platinum 4 seemed like, oh man, this is really cool, right? 4 brand new announcements. A port and a game that just started development and a new studio is not really that exciting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you guys feel about this, right? And then especially to cap it off, the final announcement is an April Fool's joke. I don't know, what do you guys think of this whole Platinum 4?
I'm okay with it, just like I was okay with Byleth being the last one.
Fair.
You learn to live.
I mean, this reminds me of a fucking... I don't remember what year it was, but they made an announcement for a new Fire Emblem game that was like feudal Japan style, old Japanese art. And I was so into that idea, and I was so disappointed when it turned out to be an April Fool's joke.
Yeah,
I was so mad.
It just hurts, It's like, oh man, why? I think, especially though that they started this April Fool's thing way before April 1st,
Yeah.
This all led into an April Fool's joke. Are you kidding me, guys? Come on, what are you doing?
It's a weird decision. I mean, the Platinum 4 is certainly no Capcom 5, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. Though finally, the Capcom 5 also ended up not being really 5 games, right?
It'll end up being 4 games.
So maybe that's part of the history, right? It's like
maybe, and of those 4 games that came out, they were all 5 were supposed to be GameCube exclusives, and only one of them stayed GameCube exclusive, and that was the worst game of the bunch.
So maybe they're just living up to the history of breaking promises,
Yeah.
Was there any other April Fool's thing that caught your eye? There was the developers of Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. They released as an April Fool's joke. Apparently, this was a real pitch they made to Disney of a DuckTales game based off of the new rebooted series. It looks gorgeous. I'm very sad that it's not real. I'm very sad that they let me know that this could have been a thing.
You talking about Quackshots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quackshot, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was
Quackshot, I loved Quackshot.
there was a Quackshot game. I beat it recently, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and so basically,
Genesis.
this was taking that Quackshot game, and but there was new elements to it, seemingly.
Yeah, it looked completely new.
Yeah, it just used the name Quackshot, and it looked gorgeous. It really did look gorgeous, and that Monster Boy, which makes sense because that Monster Boy game is very pretty looking.
Yeah, I mean, I like the art style, but it also feels kind of sterile. I don't know.
That's fair. I mean, I guess that's
something
maybe more
like
of a criticism of the newer DuckTales series, right? Because it does look exactly like the newer DuckTales series.
Yeah.
I would say.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of cartoons have that look that you like a sterile type of look that you mean, Els.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how
I
to.
personally like it, but you know, of
frame
course, it's just up to personal preference, right?
Yeah. It's all like not a lot of like different colors. They're like very primary colors, you know, without a lot of like shading or anything.
Right.
For
And
a lot
I
of
think
it.
they look good, but like I think the animations aren't like all that great. They're kind of like stiff.
Uh-huh.
That's generally what comes across for me.
So, are you saying about Monster Boy or about the new DuckTales series?
About those games in general, but
Okay.
the new DuckTales, because I haven't played Monster Boy.
That Monster Boy game looks cool though, and I've always thought about playing it. I like the idea of that game too, with like you can switch between the new and the old, like with the button press. It's kind of
No,
like
no, actually,
Halo.
this is the other Monster Boy game.
Oh, it's another one.
there was another Monster Boy game that came out. That was a brand new game.
There's a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
And you should look at. It's called Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, I believe. Look it up later, but
Too much Monster Boys going on.
it's
here.
a really neat looking game. Okay. Well, anyway. Any other April Fool's thing you guys want to mention before we move on?
I mean, I as a whole, I like the whole April Fool's stuff. You know, as long as you're remembering that it's April Fool's, like there's just been a lot of cool things that have come out of it, like jokes. Like one of the most famous ones is that stupid live action Zelda trailer that was on IGN.
Yeah. Very infamous.
Yeah, and I used to like it when the April copies of magazines would come out. This archaic, I know, magazine. But they would do like fake like stuff. They would run fake articles, and people were dumb and think it was real, and it would get on the internet and like the Sonic and fucking unlock Sonic in Super Smash Bros. Melee. That one was like a big one.
Did that originate from April Fools?
It originated from an April Fool's joke that was printed in a magazine that they said you could unlock him, and people thought it was real.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
wow, huh?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a magazine?
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, you
to
know.
listeners under the age of 20. Okay. Well, April Fool's is coming on. No more heartbreaks, hopefully, that are ahead of us. We do have a big old rumor to talk about, though. I think this is easily the biggest news story of the week. A lot of people are like, holy shit, this is happening. And that is Nintendo is... So this year is the 35th anniversary of Super Mario, right? Big deal.
Happy birthday, Mario.
Happy birthday, Mario. I should say specifically of Super Mario Brothers on the NES.
Okay.
To celebrate that, apparently Nintendo's planning to hold a big old 35th anniversary celebration this year. Apparently it was originally supposed to be the launch pad of this was supposed to be at E3. Of course, a physical E3 is no longer happening, but apparently like the booth was going to be all Mario themed, and this and that, right? That, of course, E3 is no longer happening, and they may be reshuffling how they present these ideas, but the anniversary celebration will apparently still live on, and that will come primarily in the form of a collection of 3D Mario games, specifically Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy.
Yes.
All in one singular package, remastered in high definition. Now, we don't know the extent of how remastered they are. Perhaps they're just... maybe it's just a port collection and they up-resed it. Maybe they did some more work on it. Who knows? We haven't seen the thing, so we don't know. But that is apparently on the way. On top of that, Super Mario 3D World Deluxe is going to come out this year. So
That's
that's
what
going
I
to
want.
be a deluxe port of the Wii U Mario game with new content, new levels.
Finally.
Yeah, people have been waiting for that one, right? And that's a game that's perfect for Switch, right?
It's perfect for every console.
Um,
It's just perfect.
on top of that, actually, before I move on to the next part of it, what do you guys think of this? A bunch of 3D Mario games are coming this year. What do you think?
I would love it, but I'm not taking it or accepting it as true until it's actually officially
Take
announced.
it with a grain of salt, but assuming it is true, what are your feelings on it?
Where the
hype.
fuck is Galaxy 2?
Where
Yeah,
the fuck
that's-
is Galaxy 2?
Yep.
Yeah.
You took the words right out of my fucking mouth.
It's okay. I got Sunshine. That's all I need.
Well,
And you're a terrible person.
Galaxy 2 is the best 3D Mario game before Odyssey, so, I mean, come on.
You're so close.
Now, I am interested because I do want to know just to the extent that these remasters are, right? Because, for example, Mario 64, the visuals not necessarily have aged the best, right? Super Mario Sunshine, there's definitely a lot of tweaks you could make to make that game a lot better. You know, that game is infamously very rushed, kind of similar to Wind Waker in that regard, right? And Wind Waker HD got this.
There's some
big
shit that
blow-up.
needs to be fixed.
Wait,
in
what
fucking
was wrong
Sunshine.
with Wind Waker?
You know,
A lot.
well, Wind Waker originally was a rushed game, and in Wind Waker HD, they made a lot of changes, like the Swift Sail, and they cut down the Triforce quest and a lot of the padding. And so they retuned Wind Waker a lot in the HD remake of the game, or remaster, whatever. And Sunshine, I think, could use a similar level of treatment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some missions in that game that I do not want to go back and play. You know, they were not fun. So I definitely would like them to be able to do that to Sunshine.
Now, Mario Galaxy, that game has aged like fine wine.
Yeah, you don't need to fix much with that game.
That game just needs to be in HD and we're good.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, maybe, I don't know how they're going to do some of the stupid the motion control stuff like balancing on the ball. Maybe do it just with gyro.
I have to imagine they're going to make sure they're completely playable on a controller, specifically because they want to make sure they are playable in handheld mode, right?
How is Flood going to work without analog joystick, L and R buttons,
Yeah, who knows? I mean, that's going to be... they're definitely going to make some tweaks, so I'm hoping that, like, if they're already working, have to retool things anyway, I hope they go all the way kind of deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a lot of fun. Now, Super Mario 64, do you guys want the original version or the DS version?
I don't remember what the difference is.
So the DS version...
there was like 150 stars in the DS version, wasn't there? Or no?
Yeah, and
Like
you
you
also
can
could
play
play as
Yoshi,
Yoshi, Luigi,
Yeah.
and Wario.
Yeah.
And Wario.
Yeah, the hat thing. I don't know. I'm torn. I like the extra bits, but I don't know.
I kind of would rather have the original, although...
I mean, what's wrong with the DS version that you wouldn't want those things?
It's just weird, the whole starting as Yoshi. It's not like bad, I guess, other than on the DS, obviously. This would be different, because the DS, the controls were kind of...
analog stick on the
Yeah,
if
DS.
they
analog
included
control.
all like the mini games and the multiplayer mini games, I want that,
that wouldn't
version
be
for
in it.
sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
so
no...
the basic differences of 64 is there was more playable characters, there was more stars, and then and then there was the minigame stuff. But
No,
the new
I
content
understand the
seems to
good
have,
things, but what are the
like-
bad things that
So,
cause you
the-
not want to want that?
The new
Well,
content has mixed reception because some of the stars were locked behind. For example, you have to play as a specific character. Some people said Luigi kind of broke the game.
Yeah, like the Super Mario 64 was built around Mario's mechanics and everything he can do, whereas introducing all like the flutter jump, the higher jump, the Wario. I don't know what Wario
Though apparently
actually
Wario
broke,
was
but
terrible in that game.
yeah,
But-
but yeah, like it just made it less challenging, I guess, or it just felt like it didn't fit in sometimes. I don't know. It's weird.
So like the new content is a little mixed for people. Like, sure, you can say, oh, it's new content, who cares, right? But it did kind of rebalance the game. Again, Luigi just made things way easier. Some
Yoshi
people
wearing
found it-
hats to transform into the other characters was also very weird.
Yeah, they wouldn't have like actual voices. It would still hear Yoshi when he jumps and stuff. So it was like very
Yeah,
off.
like later on you unlock those characters, but at
Hmm.
first it's like you have to get a hat, and then it's just weird. I just always thought it was an odd choice. Like, hey, let's have the game start with Yoshi for Super Mario 64, and then also he like wears hats and transforms into other characters. It just seemed like
Would have
a
been
weird
cool if it
choice.
was like a sequel, kind of, but
Now this collection, I should say, is definitely a big deal, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
it's
The
been a
new
while
Super
since
Mario
Nintendo's
All-Stars.
done any sort of collection, right? I
Mhm.
want to say the last one was Metroid Prime Trilogy, right?
Nintendo could easily do collections out the ass, but they just
Yeah,
don't.
they have a ton of legacy content, right?
Yeah.
And I think that and in a world where they sold Wind Waker HD by itself, where they sold Twilight Princess HD by itself, it's pretty notable that they're gonna pack in these three huge games, right, into one singular thing. I think that's a big deal, and I think that that'll be exciting to see how that turns out. Now, of course, even if this rumor is real, it's possible that maybe it's not in a collection, maybe they're separate, but what the rumor so far is saying is that they are remasters. So once again, we don't know the extent of that, and that it will be in some sort of collection, similar to Super Mario All Stars, which is the last time Mario had a collection, incidentally. The
Mhm.
first
they're
and
gonna
last
cram a lot of content in one like package, I guess.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's a quality package right there.
I'm just looking forward to the Wrecking Crew HD.
Any thoughts on 3D World? New content. It is standalone. That one is standalone, seemingly. Do you think that's fair to put 3D World as standalone? Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair. I mean, the game is big enough to warrant it, and it's not like a super old game either. And
Yeah, it's fairly recent. Came out
depending on new
2013,
content,
right?
maybe I'll buy it. It has to be some
Definitely
$60 worth of new content.
definitely a nice pass the Joy-Con and here you go. Let's play some multiplayer kind of deal, right? A lot of fun to be had there.
Sure, it's a great game. It's just
Yeah,
I already played it.
fantastic game. Otherwise, the other part of the celebration, seemingly, they're gonna talk about the movie, of course. So maybe we see our first teaser trailer of the movie.
Oh, please keep the
Uh,
minions away from that movie. That's all I ask.
They're gonna talk about the theme parks, which currently probably under flux, considering no one's going out to a theme park right now.
Yeah.
With everything going on with the pandemic, but so they're gonna talk about theme parks. They're gonna talk about. Apparently, they're gonna add a lot more legacy Mario games onto the Nintendo Switch Online service. So right now, there's NES and Super Nintendo games, right? And I guess there's still plenty of Mario spin-offs not yet on those services. So maybe they'll add, say, Super Mario RPG, which is what I'm personally hoping for because I haven't played that game. Would like to play that game. That would be a lot of
Muzzy,
fun.
do you not own a fucking Super Nintendo Classic?
I do,
There you
but
go.
I would like to play it on my Switch.
The fuck?
You know it'll come to the Switch anyway at some point. You know it's coming. You know it's on its way.
Oh,
It's just
there's been many opportunities for you
there's
to play
many
that game.
opportunities, but hey, look now I'll finally hunker down and play it.
That's
okay?
it's inexcusable. It's such a good game.
And finally, there seems to be a new Paper Mario game coming to the Switch this
Fuck.
year. So we're getting a lot of Mario on the Switch this year. Now this Paper
Will
Mario,
they break the streak and actually make a good one now?
and see, that is part of the rumor. So it seems like this brand new Paper Mario game is a return to form, more in the style of the 64 and GameCube games, The Thousand Year Door. So presumably, now we don't know any details beyond that, but I think you can presume that the combat would be more like those games, that they would include partners.
See, This is
Right.
where my doubts about if this is legit or not come into play, because if they're specifying that it's a return to the series, like how
I
would...
don't think it's that unreasonable though, right? Because
It's not unreasonable, but how would they know that?
Whoever told them a new Paper Mario game's coming is like, hey,
Yeah.
it's that I assume that's going to be a big part of the marketing, right? They're going to want you to know, hey, we listened, right? And that they've kind of done that with other Mario games on the Switch, right? Mario Odyssey, they made sure to specifically tell you, hey, you liked Mario 64, you liked Mario Sunshine, this game is more like that. Hey, Super Mario Party, you hated that car shit that we did in the last two games? Well, this is a return to form. Here's the board game, right? Here's classic Mario Party.
Imagine
it's-
actually listening to your fan base.
Yeah. So I don't think it's too unreasonable to think, hey, they would do the same for Paper Mario. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on? So if a new Paper Mario game is coming and it's like that, what are your kind of your hopes? What are your fears? What do you want? Let me know.
Excite.
Yeah.
If it's like 64 and Thousand Year Door, then hype.
I mean,
Stop
all
hating
you
on
had
Super
to say,
Paper Mario. Super Paper Mario is pretty good, all right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
great
there's
game.
nothing wrong with Super Paper Mario. I just
Awesome.
prefer the older ones.
I mean, I do
Right.
too, but like if I got another Super Paper Mario, I wouldn't be mad.
Same. I mean, a lot of people would be mad, but Super Paper Mario, great ass game. But all I
As
gotta
long as
say
it's
is,
not Sticker Star or the other one, Color
well,
Splash.
clearly not. I mean, if that's if you believe the rumor, and all you gotta say is Paper Mario going back to the traditional style. Shit, dog. That's all you had to say. And I'm there, and I'm gonna fucking buy that game. I mean, that's it. There's no doubt in my mind. It's done. Fucking I'll give you the money now.
Would you like a sequel or a brand new like new area?
None of
new
the Paper
world and
Marios
stuff?
are really
Yeah.
interconnected. They're all just their own thing.
No.
So
But would you? That's so you would prefer if it was their own thing though, rather
they're all
than a
their
sequel?
own thing. That's how they've all been. So I don't. Need,
I would definitely want a brand new game though, right?
Yeah.
Like I do not want a remake. I don't want
No, as in like taking place in the same universe, like the same.
Sure, but I mean, Paper Mario 64 and Thousand Year Door are so standalone already that I just want
Yeah.
a new game in that vein, right?
Mm-hmm.
So don't reuse the same partners, right? I want new
Right.
partners. I want new,
Yeah.
Maybe even expand the combat because maybe more than one, partner character at a time.
Yeah, some new mechanic to the combat would be cool.
Yeah.
And just give me the classics. Give me give me the like weird characters, right? The new weird crazy characters. Each chapter is kind of like its own standalone story, in a new setting, and just have it be unpredictable and crazy like the first two games, and even a little bit Super Paper Mario were. All three of those games, even though Super Paper Mario is a different like gameplay style, all three of them had that unique thing to them, right? Where and I think I care about that more than I actually care about the combat system in a crazy way. Call me crazy, but I think I care more about having the unique characters, good writing, and like just a crazy story in crazy setting. That's
I feel
Paper
like all of
Mario.
that constitutes what Paper Mario is.
Mm.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
That's
but
why I
do
count
think-
Super Paper Mario as like part of the original three as like how good it is. Like I don't say like the turn-based combat that is Paper Mario. No, that's not what Paper Mario is to me. You know what I mean? It's everything else.
I get what you mean, but like to me, the combat of the original two is important though. Like obviously,
It is good.
It.
It is good. And then the third
but,
one's
like,
like an action RPG in a way.
Yeah, I do, but like I do prefer that style, the Thousand Year Door style combat, right? I do prefer it being.
I prefer
like,
that. Yes.
And like the Super Paper Mario, the reason why I'm not like too hot on it necessarily is because it being on a 2D plane, I think was I like exploring these environments. I like.
What do you mean? You flip the fucking world and then you're on a 3D plane. What are you saying?
Yeah, but the 3D sections in that game were always so barren. They were all they tended to have like a couple things here and there, but
they kind of made it like a joke. They kind of made it part of the joke. What it was so barren.
Yeah, I know.
You would
it's
find
just,
secrets.
In general,
of
I think I would. I mean, I guess I don't have to really stress on Super that much though, because anyway, the rumors is saying right, it's going to be like Thousand Year Door style.
Yeah, exactly.
So combat's probably not the thing we have to worry about. I think there will be partners
as long as the combat is not pointless.
Yeah. And Color Splash was already kind of there anyway, right? Not combat wise. Color Splash combat is garbage, but writing wise, Color Splash did have genuinely good writing.
Yeah,
so,
it just didn't have the like crazy characters and.
So I think we can count on the game having good writing. I think we can count on the game having a combat system more akin to the original with partners, right? The big question is, do they get does it have good characters? Yeah,
they're gonna get unique with it,
Yeah.
Are they gonna get experimental?
I do think, and part of what worries me, I do think no matter what, I think it's hard for a Paper Mario, especially a Thousand Year Door follow-up, I think it's very hard for that game to meet expectations, Because just going into it, I know it's not going to be everything that Thousand Year Door fans want it to be, I think and I'm happy that they're trying it. I'm looking forward to it, but I do think that there's going to be this conversation about
because there's people out there that will never subvert expectations.
Thousand Year Door did this and this didn't do that,
Always.
whatever.
I mean, they constantly have done it with the Mario series before, like Galaxy, Galaxy 2, Odyssey.
Yeah. People nitpick all the time. So That's enough for Mario. So big year for Mario. A lot of ports, but still a new Paper Mario game. That's exciting. And just being able to play these games on Switch is inherently exciting, right?
Of course.
We'll see when they do things. Of course, E3 is not happening anymore, right? So they could push up these Mario announcements. Maybe they still do it in June. Who knows?
Speaking about E3 not happening anymore, Bethesda canceled their digital event, I think.
Yeah. So Bethesda's not doing anything for E3 this year.
Oh wow,
Digital event like
sucks.
So they were gonna do a digital thing because obviously you can't do a press conference this year, right? But yeah, they're not doing anything for E3 this year.
Damn, I would have been looking forward to seeing a Bethesda event without some guy screaming at the top of his lungs every 5 seconds in the front row.
Maybe they thought that was so important part of the experience that they just can't have it without it.
It's integral. You have to have that one guy they paid.
Yeah.
I mean, they could still pay somebody to scream into a mic.
True. Pay me, I'll do it.
There you go.
Speaking of remasters and remakes, though, Nier Replicant. So this is the original Nier. Now the original Nier is a bit confusing because there's 2 versions of that. If you don't know, there's Replicant and Gestalt, and in the West only Gestalt released it, right? And to sum it up, the differences essentially is just on the PS3 in Japan, you got Replicant, and it was the story of a brother trying to save his sister, right? And in Gestalt, the story is of a father trying to save his daughter. Besides the main character, pretty much everything is seemingly the same, though the difference in tone, I guess, between saving your daughter and saving your sister may be different, you know. There's a different... it does make the world a little bit different, right? So, in the West, PS3 360 both got Gestalt. So, this time, the remaster, this is coming to PlayStation 4, this is coming to Xbox One and Steam, will only be the Replicant version, right? So, this will be the brother saving the sister story, right? But so it's developed by Toy Logic. We do not know the extent of this remaster. We just know it's coming. We don't know when. We don't know how extensive it is. We don't know anything. We do know that Platinum's Takahisa Tora, who worked as kind of the combat designer, the combat director in Nier Automata, will be assisting in this game in some form, right? But otherwise, we don't know the extent of this, right? But yeah, that's coming. And I think this is exciting because they announced 4.5 million people bought Nier Automata. Now, as a comparison, the original Nier Automata, about 4.5 people total bought Nier. Yeah. Right? So, there's a lot of people who got into the franchise with Automata who have not had a chance to go back and play this original game. Now they will. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think it's smart to capitalize on the new fan base. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm one of those people who didn't play the original Nier. I own it, but I haven't played it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I played Automata.
I played Gestalt, but I didn't play Automata.
Oh, well, so for you, this will essentially be the same game. Though for you, even, it's still different, right? Because it's not going to be Father Nier. It's going to be Brother Nier. Different guy, different main character.
So weird.
Yeah, but if everything's the same, there's kind of no point.
Yeah, I'm curious because now Nier 1 does kind of have the reputation of the gameplay not being the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the world, the writing, the music, the story, all that stuff you love about Automata definitely is there in spades in the original, right? It still has that Yoko Taro charm, everything you like about that. But the gameplay side of things, at least from what I've heard, not so great, right? I'm
passable.
Curious.
It's nothing special.
Right, it's nothing. Right, and so I'm wondering, right? The reason I'm wondering how extensive this remake is, right, is because I think that might be a big barrier of entry to a lot of people who came in with Automata, right? Because Automata, you can say it's not the best Platinum combat in the world, but it's still Platinum combat, right?
Yeah. I'd say the combat's not all that, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. And so you know, it will be interesting how people are gonna fare having to go back to that game after playing Automata. Will newer fans like me and Els be able to easily get into Replicant? That remains to be seen. Hopefully this is a more extensive remake than just, hey, here's the original game, but in 1080p, right?
I mean, I feel like that's gonna be it because it was like an Xbox 360 PS3 game. It was like just probably just gonna up-res it.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the case, and we'll see. But I'm just curious how the Automata fan base then will respond to that, because it doesn't have all the nice things you're used to.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like a proper remake like Resident Evil 3 is.
Yeah, right. Well, speaking of Resident Evil 3, Noah.
Yeah, you're welcome for the segment. I suppose.
So Resident Evil 3 came out recently. Developed by M2, not to be confused with the other M2. This is TWO. They worked on this game. The game is coming out soon. I think this probably out by the time
tomorrow. Yeah, so it'll be out by the time we upload.
Yeah, by the time this podcast is up, it is already out. Now the reviews of this game are not exactly stellar. I would say still pretty good, right? It has an 80 on OpenCritic right now, but to put that in context, that is the worst reviewed Resident Evil game besides Resident Evil 6. At least for the main numbered entries.
Shocking.
Wait. The remake score is lower than Resident Evil 6, you said?
No. So, Remake 3, Resident Evil 3 Remake, right?
Yeah.
Has a lower score than any other Resident Evil numbered game except for Resident Evil 6.
Oh, okay.
So, it's lower than RE2 Remake that just came out last year, lower than RE7, lower than RE5.
Are we talking aggregate scores?
5?
Like on
we're going by aggregate scores.
Like, what was the actual score?
To be honest, I don't remember, right? I didn't
so,
check that.
I mean, it was to be expected to be lower than the second remake because it is essentially using the engine and the assets again, just putting kind of like what 3 did to the original.
Yeah.
Wait, but isn't like
but
2 just a better
I think
game than 3?
Upon that. Sorry. So Resident Evil 3 Remake, though, part of the reason, and this is from a lot of the stuff we're hearing from like hardcore Resident Evil fans and hardcore Resident Evil 3 fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seemingly, this game, unlike RE2, which was pretty much universally acclaimed, right? So I think after RE2, a lot of people were just expecting, oh yeah, RE3, that's a home run, right? Easily, it's gonna be a fantastic game. Seemingly, they didn't really. First of all, a lot of scenarios from the original are apparently cut, right? So this is
wait, what?
Yeah, it's not like a fully. I don't know to the extent of that. I can't tell you details. And I'm sorry about that.
I'll find out next weekend, but next week.
So it is not a completely faithful remake, right? It does seem like they didn't do a completely faithful job of remaking it, and it's very short. It's like about 5 hours. Apparently, Nemesis. People were really excited for Nemesis, right? After how well Mr. X was. It was Mr. X, right? In RE2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. After how well Mr. X was done in RE2, I think a lot of people were really looking forward to, oh man, Nemesis in RE3, that's going to be amazing, right? Apparently Nemesis in the game, not so great. Not so...
The nose.
Not so stressful.
I wonder why.
It's definitely the nose.
The nose.
The weird nose. Come on.
So gameplay-wise, yeah, apparently it's just not up to par with last year's RE2 remake, right? And I think, unfortunately, that's a little bit disappointing, right? I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about that. I know you haven't played it yet, but
obviously, it still seems like a pretty decent game. Like it's still going to be good,
right?
But I guess expectations were extremely high, and it just didn't meet them.
And it's hard not to be, right? RE2 was
phenomenal.
It was
awesome.
Just universally acclaimed. Everyone said this game was incredible.
But isn't RE2 like the original way better than RE3 already? So
yeah, but I think
what
makes this notable though is that first of all, you could say it's unfair that RE2 heightened expectations, but it is using the RE2 remake engine, right? And RE2 did make a lot of changes, right? So you could say, the same would be done to RE3, right? But also, I think that the fact that fans of RE3 itself are disappointed when last year, RE2 fans seemed pretty happy, right? With that remake. The fans of the original were like, yeah, this remake. Of course, you always have a couple people here and there. But the consensus on this one, though, and I think that's the difference. The consensus on this one is that, this is disappointing as a game. This is disappointing as a remake. And I think
that's the reviewers, so...
Sure, but these are people who, a lot of these reviewers are people who have a long history with the franchise, one of the people, I'll call him out, not call him out, I'll shout him out, I guess. One of the people who are, who have these complaints is someone who, I think his name is Dusk Golem, I don't remember if it was him or someone else. Anyway, someone who wrote, an extensive book on Resident Evil history, right? So clearly this guy's a super fan, right? And yeah, he was just like, I don't know, you know.
Well, I mean, in general, we knew that it's not going to have as big as a splash as Resident Evil 2 remake happened because that was the first game that came out with the new engine, the visuals, the gameplay. So it was expected to see the same thing. So it's not going to make as big of an impression as when it comes out as the Resident Evil 2 remake. So that was one thing that probably they got overhyped for that they didn't realize. And I mean, compared to the original games as well, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 was it was a less survival horror than 2 was, kind of.
Sure.
In the sense that, I mean, there were a few mechanics here and there, like Jill's dodge mechanic, which kind of made it so it wasn't as scary roaming the city full with infested with zombies. You know
you're
what
saying
I mean?
the game sucked?
No, but
It also
the
didn't have
horror
to-
element was less than Resident Evil 2. So that was one of the things I feel like that put Resident Evil 2 over Resident Evil 3 in general.
3's always been lesser of a
Put it
game
in
too
hell.
because it didn't have the 2 campaigns like 2 did, right? Because 2 seemed like
it
a
was
bigger
only
game.
Jill playable.
Yeah, it had
Yeah.
more replay value. It was a bigger game. I mean, the weird thing about 3 is the history of it, and 3 wasn't even supposed to be like the actual Resident Evil 3, and they made a deal with Sony and had to put a 3 on the end. It was supposed to be just kind of a spin-off side story thing, but it had to be Resident Evil 3 based on the deal they made with Sony, where they had to make 3 numbered Resident Evil games on the PS1. So.
But what happened? Did they not talk about the other part of Resident Evil 3 remake, the
multiplayer
Project
part?
Resistance, the multiplayer? Yeah. Did they not mention that at all
In their reviews?
So actually, they were not allowed to review Resistance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Nice.
wait, what?
Yeah, Capcom did not allow them to review Resistance. Who knows how that is? But you know, I mean, and I think another general kind of feeling that I've heard from people is, Resistance. Maybe instead of putting resources into Resistance, maybe they should have done a more faithful.
Of course, they're gonna have that mentality.
No, but even just do a more faithful remake of 3, though. The fact that there's stuff missing from 3, right? And instead you put this.
It's just like the missing
seemingly,
Pokemon.
Like the meat of this game, like the where most of the content lies, seems to be in Resistance, because the main campaign is not even like when you're rushing it; it's just incredibly short, right? Just
you get to play as Carlos.
I guess.
If you don't get to play as Carlos, then I'll be that.
I have no idea.
I'll be extremely disappointed. That was a big chunk of the game.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see when you guys play. But speaking of RE3, though, these developers, M2, are rumored to be working on an even bigger remake soon.
Resident
Please
Evil
be Outbreak.
4.
Please be Outbreak. Please be
Now-
Outbreak.
Resident Evil 4, get over
People
it.
are saying it's not Code Veronica X, so don't even consider it.
Is
to be
it
that.
Dead Aim?
Is it even a Resident Evil game?
Is it Gun Survivor?
It's not Dino Crisis was the other thing. So don't
God
expect
damn.
it to be Dino
It's Resident Evil
Crisis.
Mercenaries, isn't it?
I think it's probably RE4. Which,
I mean,
I think RE4 remake is a weird thing to do.
It's a weird.
I
feel like it
absolutely
holds up.
love. I absolutely love Resident Evil 4, but it holds up just fine, and I can't see how they improve it. Improve enough to warrant a remake.
Especially because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the RE2 and 3 remakes already inherently just make those games more like RE4, right?
Mhm.
In terms of
Yeah.
gameplay. So it
Yeah.
would really only be a graphics upgrade, right?
And we already
Yeah.
have ports of that game freaking everywhere.
And I think it's weird because GameCube era games, especially RE4, I think they still, just in 1080p, those games look good.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
hold up.
Those games don't really need like this. Oh well, I want to see this in RE engine, right? Obviously, that could be nice, but I think that RE2 and 3 remakes were interesting, and the original RE remake, right? Were interesting
Yep.
because it did offer so much new, right? And I don't know what an RE4 remake could necessarily offer, right?
That's why they should
Um,
focus on Outbreak. Bring
well,
that game finally. Come on.
I would play Resident Evil 4 remake, but also I don't need that in my life at all because the game just it holds up so well even today. You don't really need to remake it.
So does the thought of that excite you even a little bit, or you're just kind of like
Not
yes.
really.
If it's not Resident Evil 4, yeah, it does.
No,
Resident
if
Evil
it's
4 is
Resident Evil
amazing,
4.
and I would take it on anything. I would take it on toast. I would take it on a plane. I would take it
Yeah,
on
but
a train.
RE4's already
Sure.
been already been ported to toast.
Yeah.
I don't care.
The
I
most
want the new
ported
one.
fucking game ever.
I mean, I wonder what else it could be, right? I don't know. Capcom has a big library of games, of course, right? Capcom has, so it could be anything.
But
But
to
I think-
say it's bigger than the remakes of
Bigger
the
than
2 and 3.
RE3, I think it's like, man.
And like
there's
RE3 was
so many
like
options,
the
right?
second or third best one in the series, so it's like they already made the best one, so
All the numbered ones have been remade, essentially, right? I mean,
Hmm.
Obviously 360 era games don't need to be remade, but like, we've already got Remake 1, Remake 2, Remake 3. 4 seems to be next in line, you would think, right? Who knows?
They said it's not going to be.
maybe
Code
they're doing
Veronica?
0.
It's
Nah,
not Code Veronica. Yeah, they've straight up said
it's not Veronica and it's not 0.
I don't know about 0. It could be 0,
why?
but like
Zero, I would be
Zero-
more excited for Zero than I
Yeah.
would be for.
But would you describe that as a bigger thing than 3?
No.
No.
That's where my contention lies, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, all these things would be cool, but I don't know if I think realistically, like, what are our options here, right? And so, okay.
Gaiden! No.
Well,
Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 1 Remake 2.
Let's make a second remake of Resident Evil 1.
Again.
I would not put it past them.
yeah, I mean, hey, that remake happened in what, 2001, 2002?
Yeah.
There's already a port of a port of a remake of a port of a remake, so I wouldn't.
It's probably been longer since the remake. It definitely has been longer since the remake than the gap between the original game and it being remade.
It has been. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been longer since the Resident Evil remake than it has been since Resident Evil 4 came out. So
Yeah, so you know, it's been a while. So you know, maybe they're gonna remake one again.
The OG in the RE engine. Ooh boy,
the RE and
that'd be fun to
Okay.
see.
Well, that's enough Resident Evil news. The Last of Us has seemingly got delayed. Not seemingly, it has been delayed.
it has been.
Sorry.
Indefinitely, too.
The Last of Us
Oof.
and Last of Us Part 2 and Iron Man VR are delayed indefinitely.
No, not Iron Man VR.
So they before I believe Iron Man was supposed to launch this month, April, or definitely by May. Last of Us was supposed to launch May 29th, and seemingly the games are already done. Right, the game pretty much. They said Last of Us Part 2 is pretty much finished, but
And it's canceled.
because of COVID-19, because they don't know because problems with the distribution, problems with getting retail copies out there, problems with even PSN because downloads on PSN are being throttled right now. So obviously launching a huge game like Last of Us would have a huge strain on PSN, right? And so for all these logistical reasons. So not development side, but just logistical reasons, they are delaying the game indefinitely. Who knows when? Who knows? What are your thoughts?
Wild. It's crazy.
Sad,
Yeah.
It is
but also
sad.
happy because I hope you don't get those points.
It's still coming out this year. Come on.
We'll see.
I imagine it.
I don't know.
But hey, if it gives us a little bit, or gives me a little bit of free time when fucking Xenoblade comes out that same day, so I have to play that game.
Yeah, now,
so
now Xenoblade's got the whole.
The Last of Us is
freeze it
going
up.
to take you like 15 hours. Xenoblade is going to take you like
Yeah.
4 times that. or
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not it's sad to see that being delayed, but it does not affect me whatsoever. I wasn't planning to get it anyway.
Yeah, I think it's just understandable, right?
I
It's
plan to get it at some
understandable
point.
that, like, hey, we're in the midst of a global pandemic. So things things are in flux right now. The whole world is at a standstill. So what can you do?
Nintendo also kind of reconfirmed that Xenoblade's
Xenoblade.
not being delayed.
Yeah, I mean it's already up for preload on the eShop, so I sincerely doubt that that's getting moved at all. Finally, last piece of news, and then we can move on. Gearbox. You know Gearbox. They made Borderlands 3. Apparently, employees of Gearbox are very underpaid. However, they are underpaid because they have the promise that you will get 5 to 6 figure bonuses when Borderlands 3 comes out because it's going to be such a huge hit. And it was such a huge hit. Borderlands 3 sold a lot. This week, however, Randy Pitchford told his employees you will not be getting the bonuses you were promised, despite you taking a smaller salary than what is normal for the industry on the promise of these bonuses.
Isn't that illegal?
Apparently not.
Did they not sign a contract? Did they not read the fine print?
I mean, I don't want to blame the employees here, right? I think that, especially because Borderlands 3 sold well. There's absolutely no reason not to go through with this promise. Right?
Yeah, so are they not standing up for themselves?
I'm sure they're trying.
Once again, I don't think it's fair to blame them, right?
No, like I'm not blaming the employees. Are they not like trying to get their money back?
Well, I assume
that
this is why it's being leaked to the press, right? I assume this is why they're telling Jason Schreier to put pressure publicly on Gearbox, on Randy Pitchford.
Because outside of that, there's probably not much they can do.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it is the unfortunate reality of jobs in America, right? You know, there's no, they don't have unions. You know, unions would be very useful right here.
Yep.
Right? They, yeah, I don't know. Like, your employer in the United States has so much power, right? They have so much power over you, the employee, that they could do scummy, shitty things like this. And again, it's not like, oh, well, Borderlands 3 sold under expectation. No, Borderlands 3 sold a lot. There is no excuse here besides greediness, besides shittiness. You know, I'm sure Randy Pitchford is still getting. I'm sure Randy Pitchford got a giant bonus, right?
Very likely.
The rest of the people who work to make this game happen, not so much.
I mean, what is there to say? It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the things to say is unionize now. I don't know. Yeah, this is the reality of the world. I guess it sucks. Hopefully, we can hope for. Hopefully, public pressure can.
I mean, especially now when like people are like out of work and nobody can do anything. They should be getting that money. They fucking need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, especially, right? And so it's so shitty to now, especially, be like, "Oh, sorry, nope, you're not getting your bonuses. You take care of your family. Well, that's not our business, Yeah. And like they were able to profit off of this cheap labor, right? Like they didn't have to.
Well, I guess Gearbox is not going to be a thing anymore. I assume everyone's not going to go back to them if they don't do something.
Who knows? Again, just gotta hope that maybe Gearbox will hear the outcry and maybe they'll do the right thing. But otherwise, what can you do?
I don't know, man. Sounds like Randy Pitchford should lose his job.
I agree. So on that depressing note, it is time to move on from news to the list.
The list.
So the list, you could follow along in the Pastebin link below because you will need to follow along because
there are a lot of games.
We have a list of games currently at 175. It's a big list, and this is not a best of list, but rather, we add a new game to the list every week, and we rank it amongst other games already on the list.
And every game club.
And every game club, so you can listen to game club as well, by the way. Last week, I don't remember what we added.
Will added Mario Party.
Will added Mario Party
3.
2.
I'm not sure.
It was 2, yeah.
2.
Yeah, it was Mario Party 2. And Mario Party 2 got all the way to number
87.
137.
87.
Oh, I thought you said 137. I don't know.
That'll be really low. Holy shit.
It got to 87. So pretty respectable. Today, Noah is adding to the list.
I am.
No, what are you adding?
I'm going to add Dr. Kawashima Brain Age Training. Or Brain Training.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Cool pick.
I'm also out. I haven't played that game.
Well, it's just the two of us now. So if you go ahead and or
I don't know. I would have to think of another game. Of you, but would you two? I mean, I figured because it's a unique game. Like
I can't believe you guys haven't played Brain Age.
I could have sworn.
I can't believe you haven't played Resident Evil 4.
Well, first of all, Brain Age sold a lot more than Resident Evil 4. So it's
I don't care what it sold. What's a more important game?
So much more people played Brain Age.
Who cares?
Because the thing
more
about
likely a person played Brain Age.
Okay.
I mean,
Brain Age just didn't appeal to me. I don't know what it was. I didn't.
It was basically just a game full of like puzzles and like number games, like to train your brain. It had like things like Sudoku and like that's where I actually learned how to play Sudoku.
Don't we need 3 for the rank?
With 2 people, probably.
Yeah, don't we need 3 for the rank?
Yeah, the rule is 3.
Yeah, so no, you're gonna have to come with something else.
If Will was here,
remember when we talked?
He probably played that game.
Yeah, remember when we talked about how we're never prepared about shit?
Don't edit it. Just leave it. It's fine.
Well, okay, don't.
Get the live look in at what the process is.
You could always look at the old
going
list.
through the game, going through the list, trying to come up with ideas for the.
You could always look at the old list.
The old list. I don't even know. Oh, the old list.
Oh yeah, do Ilse a favor.
Yeah, where is the old list? Let's see.
It's on the Google sheet.
Yeah,
You know, it's a guarantee that 3 of us have played those games. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, did we not add Tetris here?
I guess we haven't.
Nope.
You would.
That's
Will's
okay.
heart.
That's a big one. I
You would
mean,
break Will's heart if you
Yeah.
added Tetris.
yeah.
Okay, we'll
So?
wait. We have already done it too many times. To Will, to breaking his heart. Let's see. Did we add Sonic 2?
No.
There we go. Sonic 2. It's the
All
first
right.
one, the next one that popped up.
Tell us about Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
I mean, it's the best Sonic game.
True.
The best. Well, it's 2D Sonic. Well, yeah. I mean,
True.
Best.
Best.
Yeah.
I mean,
Best everything,
best 2D Sonic inherently applies.
Pretty much,
yeah.
Best Sonic game.
Yeah. I mean, there were some games I missed out on, so I wasn't 100% sure. But from what I played, it's the best Sonic game. So, go on. What were you gonna say?
It's a classic 2D side scroller, right? For the
Yeah.
Genesis or Mega Drive for you Europeans. It is, Sonic the Hedgehog was huge. They made a sequel, and it was better in pretty much every respect, right?
Cool thing about Sonic 2, I love Sonic. So, I have to mention, Sonic 2, cool thing about it is that it's not developed by Sonic Team.
No.
So, Sonic 2 was developed by an American studio, which was, there was some of the original people were moved onto it. But Sonic Team was working on Sonic CD while Sonic 2 was being made.
Wow.
Yes.
America
Yeah,
number 1.
Sonic 2 better than Sonic CD, I will say. I mean, Sonic CD.
Now, it is worth noting that Yuji Naka, the original creator, did work on Sonic 2, though, right? He is the main guy behind
Yes,
Sonic 2.
yeah, he also worked on it as well, but a majority of it was worked on at Sega of America.
Yes.
So it's just a neat little footnote in the development of Sonic 2 that I always thought was interesting, and also one of the biggest. I think Sonic 2 is one of the first games to have, like, back then when games came out, they just kind of hit the store shelves whenever, right? So there wasn't like this is their release date. Sonic 2 famously had Sonic Tuesday, and and it was a big deal because it had a release date. This is when this game's dropping, and it also, like, at the time, I guess games now have more commonly moved to like Fridays. But for a very long time, games came out on Tuesdays, and that was the same thing with like new music, and movies would always launch every Tuesday. So games moving into that space, that was just a big thing at the time. So
What a stupid world we lived in.
why Tuesday?
Release your shit
I'm
on
glad
Tuesday.
that they've moved it that now, like this, almost like Nintendo moved to Fridays, and it almost seems like industry standard to drop games on Fridays now, which is just way better because you can play it over the weekend. So.
Yeah, fuck Tuesday.
Yeah. But it's just Sonic 2 was a big fucking deal when it came out.
Yeah.
I mean,
so this
yeah.
is no. Well, I think most people know what Sonic 2 is.
Yeah.
Where do you want it now?
I'm looking around number 36.
I agree.
So I'm going to tell you my immediate objection. Granted, I didn't look at the list. I think it should be below Mania.
Below Mania.
Yeah, I think it should be below Mania. I actually like Mania. I think Mania is a better game.
I thought we said that Sonic 2 was the best Sonic game.
No,
You
I
said
said
it.
it.
I did not agree. I honestly do think that Sonic
I mean, Sonic Mania is at 41.
Yeah, so not that much lower, but I would definitely personally put it below Sonic Mania.
But what if Sonic Mania is too low?
Maybe.
It's a different argument.
I don't personally think
different
it
time.
is. I don't know. So where did you say you wanted again?
36, like below
36.
Fire Emblem, Path of
Below.
Radiance.
Okay. Personally,
I would put it below Pokemon.
Below
Yeah.
Pokemon? Yeah, I'm fine with
I would
Pokemon.
probably
But
put it
what were
below
you gonna say,
Pokemon
Muzz?
as well.
Okay. I mean, I was honestly just gonna probably put it right where Mania was, right below it. I just think that, yeah, I don't know. I just think Mania is a better game. I understand thinking Sonic 2 is better, and I'm not gonna like fight that too hard if you all unanimously agree.
Yeah, well, the thing with like Sonic 2 and Sonic Mania is, I still think Sonic 2 is a little better. Sonic Mania is extremely fucking good, and it's easily the second best Sonic game in my opinion.
Sure.
But
People would say Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but that's
Sonic in Mania. One of the things that kind of disappointed me with Sonic Mania is its rehash of older levels.
yeah.
Oh, it actually had older levels. I haven't played Sonic Mania. It's on my
I
New
get
Year's
that like
resolution
they were
games.
like new designs, right? And then
Yeah,
like,
they
the
use it as
second-
like a jumping off point, basically.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like rehash is such a strong word.
But
I think
like
it's
we didn't
unfair.
need these fucking
You know?
zones. You know what I mean? Like come up with like new
Sure,
fresh
but like,
shit.
it was like it was a celebration of the whole franchise.
It doesn't,
right? Or at least
dog.
the
We
classic
just had
franchise.
Sonic Generations. We didn't need another
But, like, what
celebration
does
of the
it matter if
franchise
it
kind
was-
of shit.
But what does it matter if it's the same zone when it's completely different? They especially the Act 2s, just the way they look.
Well,
the way
I
they
mean, the
play.
Act 2 is very different, but
The Act
One
2s
is
were very
the
good
same.
because they introduced like new mechanics to all of them
Yeah,
and all
but
that.
that's what I'm saying though. Like,
Yeah, but just I don't know.
No,
it
but-
just seemed like
new.
It seemed cheap.
Why does it matter?
It bothered me, you know. And it doesn't. At the end of the day, I felt like they could have all just been their own unique zones.
I would argue something like Angel Hill Zone is more of a fucking rehash, despite not being like actually called that.
The opening zone of the fucking game, dude.
Yeah, that is
That's
more.
like
I mean,
one
you can
zone
say that
versus
about
the
every
whole game.
Mario game.
but like
They get like a nice tropical fucking beach area for the first zone, and then you go off into unique shit.
that's what I'm saying. Like I think that
The first level's
the
fine.
despite having the same name, I would argue that the differences are strong enough to overcome that. And it still had a fair amount of new zones still too, by the way.
It did. I just wish the whole game was like that.
I don't know.
And also,
it's getting so hard. But just
let me-
because it's Green Hill Zone again does not
Wait.
mean it's Green Hill Zone again.
It was
Like,
less
they did
Green
a-
Hill Zone and more as tired as I am of seeing Green Hill Zone. It's more of just all the other ones. It's like I just wish the whole game was fresh and new. Even the
I
bonus
thought the
stages were just
levels
ripped from
themselves
straight
stood
out of
out
other
enough
Sonic games.
To be considered fresh, but that's just me.
Even bonus stages were ripped straight out of other Sonic games. You know.
Okay.
And
None of
also, I really, 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 really love the last, the Death Egg Zone in Sonic 2. That's like my favorite Sonic 2 memory. My favorite Sonic memory. I love that fucking.
Sonic 2 had a lot of zones in it, man.
Yeah, but like just the last like two fights with the Metal
Mhm.
Sonic and Robotnik. That part was
The
fucking
giant
great.
robot.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
Okay. So do we want to put it below?
Well, Pokemon was the
Below
general
Blue?
consensus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Below Pokemon, I'm good with that spot, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is now number 37 on the list. Surrounding it is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Sonic 2, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and Left 4 Dead 2. That is the list. That is the podcast. While I do some plugs, who wants the final word, the final phrase?
I heard Noah once.
No.
Do you want me to do...
But I feel weird doing it when I am hosting.
Well, I mean, do you want me to do the plugs and then you can do the final phrase if you really want to?
Okay. All right. Sure. I'll do that. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. All right. Plugs. It's something I do. Hey, if you enjoy the Jump Up Supercast Game Club, make sure you check us out on your favorite podcast listening service of your choice, including SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube, where new episodes go up every single Monday. And the Jump Up Supercast Game Club, hosted by me, will go up every other Thursday. And give us a follow, a like, or a share. And feel free to let us know what you thought about what we talked about today, or if we put Sonic 2 in the wrong damn spot on the list, down in the comments. Support us if you enjoy what we do here on Patreon for $1 a month. You get the chance to choose a game club game for us every round as well, and you get access to our Discord server where you can talk to us about video games and just see how stupid we all are on a daily basis. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram to stay up to date on everything Jump Up Supercast related, and even catch us streaming from time to time on twitch.tv/JumpUpSupercast. And I just want to thank everybody for listening. But before we go, Muzzy, it's your turn for the final phrase.
There was some pretty big Call of Duty news this week. And unfortunately, I had to skip it because, quite frankly, most people who do podcasts are probably not the demographic playing Call of Duty. Most people, I think, hardcore enough to listen to a podcast about general video games probably don't care about Call of Duty. Which is so funny because it's such a massive part of the industry. 4 of the 6 best-selling games in the United States are Call of Duty games. So, I wish we could have talked about it. I wish that I think there was some interesting stuff there, but what can you do? Call of Duty, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Me neither.